Welcome, everybody, to the One Stage at a Time podcast where we're playing through video games one stage at a time, not skipping a single level. We are coming up on the end of Doom here. We're playing E4M6 against the Wickedly. I am Aaron Neeson, and I'm joined by Andy Prim. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
Hello. And we are joined by Sam Ingersoll. Hello, Sam.
Ahoy, hoy.
Gentlemen, let's talk about Doom.
Well, here we are, E4M6 against the Wickedly. So
Here we are.
This stage, its title, as with all stages from episode 4, comes from the Bible, a book you might have heard of. And this particular phrase comes from Psalm 139, verse 20. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. So again, it sounds like a case where it doesn't have any like thematic significance for the stage or the game even. It's just like they thought it sounded cool.
But that quote means like they're trash talking and saying God. That's what, like, it sounds way cooler than it actually. Yeah. It's like they're talking shit about you and they're saying this goddamn motherfucker instead of just this motherfucker.
Yeah, they're talking smack on God, which you don't want to do in the Bible.
Depends on which testament.
He's like, excuse me?
Yeah. All right. Well, here's some stats for this stage. So it is the 6th map of Thy Flesh Consumed, the 4th stage. And it was designed by who else but our old friend, John Romero.
Okay.
It uses the music track They're Going to Get You by our friend Bobby Prince. Part-time here is 6:30. We've got 3 secrets. And in terms of enemies, we've got 28 sergeants, 31 imps, 2 demons, 12 specters, 20 cacodemons, 7 lost souls, 3 barons of hell, and 1 cyber demon. So those are quite some stats. What did we think of this stage, fellas? The last time we met John Romero back in Perfect Hatred, you guys were not a fan. And this stage seems in some ways similar to Perfect Hatred to me, but in other ways different. But what were your impressions?
Well, I think overall I liked it. But man, was it like back and forth. Like there was like I would start a part and be like, what the fuck? This sucks. And I'm like, oh, god damn. Okay, this is what he was trying to do. Okay, this is cool. And that just kept happening back and forth and back and forth.
There's definitely a gimmick to this stage.
Yes. I think too, one thing that that I was thinking about more and more is that, you know, there's a cyber demon and like they're kind of like some of the hardest enemies to fight, but really
the hardest, I would say.
This level was the hardest enemy I've had to fight in a Doom game.
Yeah.
And not even like I hated it, but like just like there were so many things that were like, here's how you do it, but I'm not going to give you quite enough things to do it easily.
Yeah.
And like trying to like fight the level in a way to get things done. Like, and it kind of stumbles a little bit. It's not, but it wasn't to a point where I hated it. I was frustrated, but I still did it. I did not 100% any of this. I didn't even kill all the enemies, but I did it. I finished it. But boy, it's just I don't know. It's just kind of a interesting level.
It is a very interesting level. And like, you know, just getting to the end of it is a feat in and of itself, because this is a difficult level, especially on the ultraviolence difficulty, which we're playing on. Even Aaron, who I wonder, Aaron, are you regretting that we goaded you into upgrading from Hurt Me Plenty to ultraviolence at this point?
I'm not regretting. So like, I feel very similar to Sam. Like I actually liked this level. I dug it. I liked it all worked well thematically. It was very challenging. But there were a few too many parts where I was like, this is pretty much bullshit to make me say that like this is a good level. I'm not going to say this is a good level.
So you feel like there was like some unfair design happening.
If nothing else, any level that makes you take hit floor damage, like no way around it whatsoever, can go fuck itself.
For me, like that aspect, yes. But like it was just shy. If I had spent 5 more minutes on any one of these problems, I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
And I kept like getting to a point where it was making me mad, but then I would figure out something that I could do it a different way, and then that usually was a little easier and still had a challenge. But yeah, like I think it really depends on like how if I had experienced it in any other way than like the random, Schrodinger's cat, just like who knows what happened in that box way, I probably would have hated it. But
There's definitely an order of operations to this stage, and if you
yeah,
do it if you do it in the intended way or the path of least resistance, it's much easier than just going in and trying to brute force some of the more difficult sections.
But that's also like part of the thing. Like this level does not have an obvious intended way. Like the intended
Yeah.
way, the way to avoid like having to jump into the lava over and over again, like is a secret. Like it's a secret. The way to avoid that is a secret. Literally, it's a secret. Like
Well, let's set the stage. So this is quite a vast area, or
yes.
level. We start in, if we look at the map, we're in the western part of the map when we start. We're in kind of like from the stage that was like a hand. I forget what that one was called, but it's like that outside hell area where Slough of Despair from episode 3, which was a cool level. It's that outside area with like those like thorny, like tree, like dead tree textures.
Fuck
You,
those trees.
you're going through this outside, you fight some dudes, and you make it to like the battlements of the citadel or fortress or something. And so there's kind of some cool theming there. Like we make it to the outside, we can see demons up on the battlements, and the only way in is by jumping into the lava moat and making your way down through like the under part of this place.
Mhm.
You go through there, you fight some more guys, and then there's like there's a couple different ways through. There's some secret shutters that you can open. There's some rad suits to find, which you want to find a rad suit ASAP so you don't take, because this is pretty serious damage floor. You take like 10 damage per second when you're on it. So and that's pretty rough. Uh,
Mhm.
like some damage floor is, well, there's some that's worse, but most is not that bad. But anyway, you got to get through there, and then eventually you make your way up to like the upper parts, and you kind of get to like the main atrium area. So it's like really similar to Perfect Hatred in some ways, in that there's this main atrium that we keep going back to, and like raising new platforms and opening new sections of it. But the big gimmick of this stage, which is a really rude trick until you figure out what's going on with it, is this giant pillar in the center of the lava pit, which can warp you to all 4 of the main cardinal areas of the fortress. But the direction it warps you in depends on the direction that you enter the teleporter from, because there's a teleporter on top of this pillar. And every side of the pillar is like a little elevator that when you interact with that side of the pillar, it'll lower down, and then you ride it back up, and then you walk onto the teleporter. But whichever way you walk onto it from, like say you walk onto it from the southern direction, you'll then be teleported to the south. And it's that same way for all 4 sides of it. So until you figure out that that's what's happening, though, you could easily wander around lost here for a while.
that was one of those things when I finally figured out. I was like, oh, I see. It's one of those. I figured it out fairly quickly, so like it wasn't to a point where I was mad yet.
Yeah.
So like right before I got mad, I was like, okay, all right, moving on. Now I understand what this is trying to do. It's like,
Dude, this is like when we played Myst 3 together, Sam. You really had to use your noodle on this one.
I
Like,
agree. Well, I took some notes, and I really felt that this level it finally felt like the correct progression of difficulty for episode 4. Like I felt like playing all the other levels of Doom have made me good enough to get through this level.
yeah,
I felt.
we've been training in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah, a lot of the other episodes, parts we played in this episode have felt kind of just meh, meh. But I could see this being like if episode was a real uh episode and not kind of like what we decided is like a DLC,
Yeah,
this would be in it. This would definitely be a level in it, I feel like.
I totally agree. It's like, and I'm curious to see what Aaron says about it, but I love this level. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I love the theming of it, the aesthetic. Romero's always best at the aesthetic stuff. Like Sandy was great at like the technical stuff and just kind of interesting maps from that perspective. But Romero's maps, like sometimes like the difficulty's unbalanced or the technical stuff is a little wonky, but the aesthetic stuff is always really solid. And I feel like this one nails that for sure. Like you really get a sense of like this fortress that we're in, and like the way it all fits together is interesting from like a architectural point of view. But then I think the level itself is also just pretty fun to play. But Aaron, I sense you stewing and mulling over your thoughts. What did you think of this level?
So like I said, like I would have I liked this level, and I really agree about the aesthetic. I think that the fortress and the lava moat and everything is very cool. But like it's also just there's just a ton of bullshit. like having to jump into the lava every single time to go on that teleporter. And like when you don't know what you're doing, like I get that that's the gimmick, but it's fucking annoying. Like
Uh-huh.
and so like you get to a certain point where like you're out of your rad suit, and so like it's forcing you to die over and over and over. Like there's no way to figure this out and beat the level the first time through, which
Yeah.
is fine. That's
Well,
fine.
yeah.
But like
If we're still in Save Scum City here.
Oh yeah, out the ass.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I was doing quick saves and I had 4 different regular saves for different parts of this level. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong.
But this is the first level that I had to look up like just how to beat it, because I was like, I don't have time to figure this shit out. Like literally, I don't have time for this. I have things to do and people to care for, and I cannot be consumed for 4 hours to do this and figure out the exact right pattern. Like, and so that just made it less fun for me. Again, like I liked this level and I appreciated what they did, but like but no, like I'm
Yeah,
at the same time I'm like it's a bullshit. It's bullshit.
I think I understand what you're saying. What you're saying is you have to be a true gamer to really enjoy this level,
That
like Andy and I.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
I heard.
exactly right.
Yeah,
That's
what I heard
exactly
too.
right.
I it's it it's a weird level. Like I said, like specifically at the end, which we'll get to, I was fuming until I finally decided. It's that age old video game thing where you're doing the same thing over and over and it's not working. And you're like, fuck this game. You're throwing it out the window. I'm never going to play this game again. You
Yeah.
turn the game off, you sit there, you turn it back on and load it up
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And you finally do something different and it kind of works a little better. You're like, okay, well, fuck, let me try this. But back to like the lava floor. What I actually kind of liked about it was the fact that in a shitty way, I agree. It made other things that weren't normally a huge threat a bigger threat, because I knew I was gonna lose at least 10 health if I didn't go to the right place. So I kind of made it kind of like up the ante a little bit on things that were kind of commonplace at this point in all the Doom we've played. And I get it,
Yeah.
kind of a shitty bullshit way to do it, but it kind of made it a little cooler at the same time.
The danger, like,
Yeah.
makes your mind like upcycle to like a new gear.
Yeah. It was
like,
real to me.
it's like how in Unbreakable, Mr. Glass had to put Bruce Willis in a life or death situation to unlock his powers.
They should have named this "We Live in a Society." This should have been the name of the level.
Okay, well, let's explain a little bit more about how this level is structured, because there are, like we said, kind of like 4 different cardinal directions. We come in from the west, kind of the outside part of this citadel, and then from the middle area, though, you can go a bunch of different ways, like from this central pillar and like the main atrium, like the main lava pit there, and like there's 3 keys to get here too. We need a blue key, a red key, and a yellow key, and they all open different sections all over the map. So it can be kind of confusing, like what you need to get where. And like you can go to some places like before you have the key to do everything there, but you can do some of the stuff there. Then you have to backtrack and like look for the keys in different spots. So there's a little bit of like maze type thinking going on here. And then one thing that I think is cool is that in like the central upper area, like at first you need to teleport to get to all the different sections of it, but then later like these little bridges raise up that let you kind of take shortcuts to like the eastern part and the northern part and get there a little bit easier. Which again reminds me of Perfect Hatred. Romero was definitely reusing an idea here. And then there's like another little interesting thing in the eastern area. There's like another little lava pit kind of outside, and there's like some rad suits down there. But there's like these little like pillar things, these short little pillars surrounding the edge of it, and some are red and some are yellow. And to lower them, you need to get keys from other areas. Like first you need to use the blue key here to open a teleporter to get down in the lava pit. And then there's red and yellow doors in the lava pit that you can open that have switches inside them that activate other things in different parts of the map. And eventually they lower those pillars and let you access the BFG. So there is a BFG in this stage if you had somehow not acquired it yet, which is a good thing because you're going to want it to defeat that cyber demon. But I wanted to ask you guys this. How did you go about killing the cyber demon? Because there's different ways to approach it. Big Mac Davis, who has perfect knowledge of this game, he waits and finds the well hidden invincibility sphere, and then uses that to confront the cyber demon and like take no damage. He just blows him away with the BFG point blank. I did the same thing without the invincibility sphere and just like quick save beforehand and just prayed to God that like I could kill him before he killed me. But how did you guys go about this challenge?
Let's talk about how. So that one, did you get that first try? How many did you die at all?
The cyber demon, like I got sniped by him with rockets a few times. Like I tried like just playing like rocket tag with him like at long range, but like the splash damage from his rockets is brutal, and there's not really a good place to hide because every little area, like he has line of sight basically everywhere on this map, so there's really no good place to engage him from. So yeah, I eventually just ended up just running and getting right in his face, and it took me like I don't know 1 or 2 tries, but I was save scumming. But I died a bunch of times before that, trying to kill him at range. But what about you guys? How did you deal with this threat?
I told you I watched Big Mac do it. So everything he did, I just carbon copied it. So
there you go.
I actually failed the first time I tried though because I didn't do what he did and run behind him. So I just decided to attack him from the front there with my back to the lava pit, which is a mistake because then he shoots you with the rocket. And even though you're invulnerable, you still go flying. So I landed up down there in the pit. I'm like, oh shit. Okay.
So I spent a lot of time, did not use the invincibility for this. So you teleport, there's the south part right here. You teleport on that little tiny ledge. Yeah. And I spent too much time, we'll just say, trying to sneak out and shoot him and get him that way. And like I had
so would you like sneak out, shoot him, and then scurry back to the corner?
And I'd like fall off because I would not go back the right way. But eventually, the way I killed him is I got I had a rad suit, so I hopped down into the middle and went to the north end and teleported to the north area, and I went on there's a long pillar that goes out back into the middle on the left side, and in front of it is a little outcropping that you can go back and forth on and dodge his rockets. And I actually shot him with the BFG and rockets from all the way there.
Ooh,
and that's how I killed him.
Nice.
All right.
An unorthodox strategy, but effective nonetheless.
I'm not going to say how long it took me, but let's just say too long.
Yeah.
But just the right amount that I wasn't mad about it. I got really, really mad up here at the front and had to stop and think about a few things and then just, all right. It's like, you know what? I need to find somewhere else to shoot this guy.
Yeah. I would almost say just like getting into the castle is a little bit harder than completing it. Like the difficulty seems front loaded to me in this stage. Like, because to get in, you have to make kind of a blind run into the lava moat. And then once you get in, there's more enemies hanging out. There's specters and imps. Then you got to pick one of the sides and go through these secret doors to like explore everything else that's happening here. But you don't have a lot of time to like stop and think about what you're doing because there's just enemies up your butt and damage floor everywhere. And then you're worried about your rad suit wearing off.
If you can go the wrong way in that beginning, if you go right, you're gonna take too much lava damage because the fucking rad suit's on the left side.
Yep. Yep.
So this like I would rate this much lower if this was part of the main game. You guys were saying like, oh, it should be part of the main game and brag.
No, that's not what I was saying exactly. I was saying that if you continue, episode to episode, and the game, knowing that you've played previous stuff, so you kind of bring that knowledge forward and like your skill forward, that this fits kind of the progression. Is all I'm saying.
I mean, I don't know if I would even agree with that though, because like. Maybe I would agree with that, but like this has just so much bullshit like that. Even though it's like sort of building off what like there's just so much bullshit.
And for me, again, like I said, there is a lot of bullshit, and it's like, the multiverse, right? Where every decision or action choice goes one way. There's another universe where it went the other way. Like mine
Mhm.
all went the right way for this. So like there's like 20 me's that are pissed off and agreeing with you right now in
Yeah.
another multiverse. It
And
just
again,
just made it.
yeah, and if it wasn't for like the actual cool aesthetic of this, I don't think I would like this level. But I actually liked this level. I
Yeah.
liked that
Well,
you have to get into this castle. You have to go in the mode. You have to take a little bit of damage. Like that's
mhm.
like I was saying, like I think that that's kind of bullshit having to take damage from the floor, but like that was okay. That
There
was
was a
okay.
there was a lot of moments where I was like, really? I said that a lot in this level. That's
Yeah.
why I've got this guy as my background.
Yeah,
And
I
it's like
noticed that.
that's the but another thing, like you were talking about the level itself, like it's kind of cool. Like it reminds me of like a Zelda dungeon or something, where it's kind of
Yeah.
like you have all these different parts that you go to, and like you'll go and you'll see like a puzzle you can't do yet, and you'll go back to the hub, and like so it kind of I kind of liked the flow of it, even though it was just a whole bunch of horrible stuff in the way, and like maybe not quite like it feels like a level that could have been beta tested a little more, maybe tweaked a
Hmm.
little bit. Like this would have been patched a few times if it came out today,
Yeah. A couple more rad suits maybe here and there. Like yeah, no, totally.
But
I totally dig your Zelda comparison. That's
yeah,
100%.
and I think that
100%.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I got that feeling from Perfect Hatred a little bit too, that Zelda-ish feeling, like going to different areas, getting keys to open up new areas. But definitely more so in this one. Like this is like the fucking water temple or something.
yeah,
Just
Yeah.
definitely has that feeling.
If the water killed you as you were in.
yeah.
Things like that make me like I feel like my criteria for episode 4 is a bit different. I feel like even if I thought there was a lot of bullshit in this level, I think I liked it and enjoyed it way more compared to a lot of the levels I've played so far in episode 4. Comparing it to the other Doom levels, there's a lot to complain about. But I think yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it in that
Yeah.
sense.
No, I'm totally with you there too. Like episode 4, I continually remind myself it's for the super fans. It's for the people who
Exactly, yeah.
loved Doom so much that they craved more, they needed more. And John Romero's like, very well, welcome to my nightmare. Like
Yeah.
I'm going to unleash it upon you. You want this? You want it? Take it all.
I mean,
Like,
this is for the guys that will like only take one health pack because they know they're going to go back down and come, or like know how to run just right, and they know the timing of the lava to not get the tick. It's stuff like that. I think
mhm.
that's for those people, not
It's for the
us.
guys who do the punching only run throughs. The guys who
Yeah.
like love Doom so much that they want to give themselves the extra challenge. And this is the creators just doing it for them. Here's your extra challenge, guys.
Yeah.
Like I saw like the one puzzle where you have to like go past all of the skulls that are lining the balcony there, and I was like, well, fuck you. Like, you'd have been stuck there forever to unlock that teleporter. Like, and then in my own mind I was like, oh well, I guess you could accidentally do it by just like, oh, I'm looking out over the lava, and oh, look over here now, and accidentally do it. But still I was like, fuck you, man.
But yeah, so I think that's kind of it was fine.
It was
I
fine.
was kind of happy to see the cyber demon, to be honest. It was cool
Yeah.
to see him being used, even if he was annoying. It was nice to see him again.
Yeah, but like now John Romero's it's almost becoming predictable. He's got these levels that just punish you and kick your ass and like teleport you all over the place and open up just hell all over you, and then it culminates in the cyber demon again.
Yeah, we only see the spider guy the one time at
Yeah.
the end of episode 2. Was it?
No, he was the last boss, the spider
Episode 3?
mind demon
Yeah,
guy.
we
Erector
haven't
set
seen
spider?
that model. Yeah, we haven't seen him since. We've only seen him the one time.
No, we haven't, and that's okay because he is a bastard. like unless you have the BFG just ready to go, and even then, like that, his chain gun was so punishing. Like if they
Talking about the
just
spider
Spider
It,
Mastermind.
yeah, if they just stuck him in a level somewhere, fucking
just
nightmare.
just wait, guys. Just wait.
I figured, yeah, hooray.
But I do think it's interesting that, like, in both of these Romero levels, we've had the Cyber Demon. Like,
He's getting a little predictable. Like he's got these punishing levels that he throws at
Yeah.
us, and then at the end of Cyber Demon, boom, there he is.
Maybe
Well-
he did the majority of the like coding for Cyber Demon, so he's like, I'm gonna put this motherfucker in my levels.
yeah, that could be because, like, in he only designed levels in the original Doom in episode 1, Knee Deep in the Dead. So the level the Cyber Demon appears in episodes 2 and 3, Sandy Peterson made. So maybe Romero was like pissed off and was like, I can't let Sandy have all the Cyber Demon levels. I gotta have one. I gotta have 2.
There's no way that he's that petty.
No, not John Romero.
Not John Romero.
Well, it's my sad duty to report that this is the final Doom level designed by John Romero in the original Doom. So, salute to John. Thank you for your service. You've done an excellent job, sir. However, he did return for a something called Scythe relatively recently, which is like a big new pack of levels. Kind of like a fan game made by the original creator. So we'll have to talk about that at some point. I've never played Scythe, but I've heard that it's like a return to form and also incredibly difficult.
That doesn't surprise me. The incredibly difficult part does not surprise me. But John Romero.
All right. Okay. Well, that is Perfect Hatred. I mean, not Perfect Hatred. Against the Wickedly, the second of 2 John Romero levels in episode 4. And in the next stage, we'll be playing And Hell Followed, which is E4M7. We're very close to the end now, just 2 more stages. This honestly, this would be like a good last one to wrap up on, though. It just feels kind of like epic, and I don't know, it's just a good stage.
I'm genuinely was surprised to hear that it's the last Romero level. I figured that he'd have the last level. Like I just assumed that he would insist upon that or have the prerogative to do it, but
makes me feel like they made these levels and no one really checked to see what order they were put in when they were released. Yeah.
All right. Well, I got a couple more topics that I would like to discuss today. 2 very stupid stories that have broken recently. One gaming related and one not really, but I think definitely in our wheelhouse. For the first story of this evening, this is a segment that I have titled Cara Dune, more like Cara Dunn. And I am, of course, referring to the ignominious firing of Gina Carano from The Mandalorian.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Have you fellas been following this story?
I saw
Not on
that she
purpose.
got fired and that there was like what do they call it? Like a petition to replace her character with Don Cheadle. I read some of her stuff and it seemed like pretty ignorant, I guess, is the way, like just like not like aggressively bad, but like come on. You know,
yeah. It's like you don't have to wear a mask type stuff. I'm being persecuted for my conservative beliefs.
yeah.
And then a bunch of stuff I agree with, that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yeah, there was some really interesting. Like the article I saw had like, it seemed like there was some stuff that I was like, okay, I could see that. You know, Disney doesn't want to be associated with that. And then there was some other stuff that was just like, I mean, some of it even sounded like memes. You know, like it was just kind of like, well, you know, it's the world we live in now, and you know, you can't go around saying retarded shit and not expect to get fired from Disney.
Yeah, it's John Tron all over again.
Yeah,
if you're gonna be as just like, I get it. Being a stupid asshole means that you're stupid. So like, it's like, if you have bad opinions, keep them to yourself. But since you're a stupid asshole, you just go on and start saying them. Even when everyone's like, stop saying it, you're going to get fired. Everybody's saying you should get fired. Stop saying like, but because you're stupid, you just keep putting it on Twitter where everyone can hear you. Not even just like people in your immediate vicinity. Everyone in the world knows how shitty you are.
There's a big difference from taking a stand to your liberal neighbor and to the Disney Corporation.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you're going to win one of those. You know, like.
And this was like the meal ticket of all meal tickets too, because
sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
She went from like a pretty good MMA fighter, like, you know, back when, like, she was like fighting back when UFC didn't even have a women's division, like before Ronda Rousey and all of that. and was like pretty good. She had like a 7-1 record, won a bunch of fights, and was, like, I guess popular, although I, didn't really follow her career at that time. But I suppose in the MMA world, she was like well known and well regarded. Then she gets into acting. She did like a Steven Soderbergh movie. She was in Furious 6, and then or
Deadpool.
Fast and Furious 6, Deadpool. And then she's on The Mandalorian as fan favorite Cara Dune. Aaron, you were a well-known Cara Dune fan in the first season.
I really liked her character. Both seasons, I really enjoyed her character. I thought she did a good job. I like her as an actress. I really liked her in Deadpool. But like, fucking, you got it made. Why would you do this to yourself? Even if you have this opinion, just like, I disagree with my boss. I don't fucking say it to her, like go to her face and be like, it's just dumb. It's just dumb.
Well, supposedly, like, she was gonna get her own spin-off series, like Rangers of the New Republic. And then like Jon Favreau apparently went to bat for her, like with Disney, and was like, "Look, I'll talk to her. Like we'll get this straightened out." And Pedro Pascal, like, she has a tweet where she's like, "Yeah, Pedro talked to me and explained to me why I should shut my mouth about people's pronouns." But still, she just couldn't help herself.
She got so many chances. Many chances.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to know better nowadays. Like, it's just like, you just like, keep it to yourself. Like, do you need to be telling everyone this? Like, do you feel, and if you do, that's great. But like, just so you know, you're going to lose everything. No one's going to hire you. You're going to be doing fucking direct to video Kevin Sorbo movies now. Like,
no. Andy's going to talk about it. I know.
Oh no.
Well, there's been a recent development. It looks like Gina Carano is going to land on her feet, because it's come out recently that she has partnered with who else but Ben Shapiro of the Daily Wire to produce even more spectacular cinema. And let's see. Mr. Shapiro himself said this: "We could not be more excited to be working with Gina Carano, an incredible talent dumped by Disney and Lucasfilm for offending the authoritarian Hollywood left. This is what the Daily Wire exists to do: provide an alternative not just for consumers, but for creators who refuse to bow to the mob."
So yeah, she'll be working with Kevin Sorbo then, because he's fucking off the rails too. He's like.
I've got more from Ben here. He says, if Hollywood wants to keep canceling those who think differently, they'll just be helping us build the X-Wing to take down their Death Star.
Oh, wow.
Which is a really fucking stupid thing to say, and proves him as a poser, because the Millennium Falcon blew up the Death Star.
Well, the second one.
Yeah. Well, that was the bigger one. So
it was the bigger one, therefore the most important. But the X-Wing did blow up the Starkiller base. That stupid shit.
Oh my god!
From that hack J.J. Abrams.
I mean, it did blow up the first Death Star.
That's true.
Yeah.
Luke
but Ben Shapiro, stupid asshole, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you guys. I've talked about him before. Robert Evans. He does that stuff with like Some More News and Worst Year Ever and everything. But he's been doing on one of his podcasts. He's been doing a reading of Ben Shapiro's book. I can't remember what it's called.
Allegiance. Yeah, True Allegiance.
Yeah, and it's
the Chapo guys did that.
It's fucking hilarious. God, I hope Ben Shapiro's writing whatever it is she's going to be starring in, because it's going to be awful.
Well, probably not. So the person who Daily Wire did one movie called Run, Hide, Fight, which was either produced or directed by a guy named Dallas Sonnier, who did Bone Tomahawk, which is supposedly a pretty good movie. And Run, Hide, Fight, I've heard is like pretty good. I mean, like super reactionary, but like a real movie, not like Kevin Sorbo bullshit. Like,
is it about a school shooting?
Yeah.
God, that's so fucking predictable.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
Got a 23% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. Hey, oh no, here we go. Oh wow, this is great. Critic score 23, audience score 93.
There you go. That's what you want.
Thomas Jane is in it.
Yeah, Thomas Jane's in it.
Treat Williams is in it. I like Treat Williams.
There's like some, like I said, it's not just like Kevin Sorbo bullshit. There's like some real actors in there. But I don't know. I haven't seen it. I just heard people say it's pretty like entertaining, not like a good movie, but like kind of fun to watch. Yeah, so I don't know about you guys, but I will be eagerly awaiting her ongoing partnership with Ben Shapiro.
Good luck and good riddance. I've heard people have been online, just random people being like, Lucy Lawless should be recast as Cara Dune. I'm like, yeah, man, fucking right, do it. Why not? She's a little bit older, but
her at all. Just she died.
Her X-wing blew up on her way back to her home planet.
She's trying to blow up the new Death Star in her X-wing.
It's the Star of Death now. Boom.
Boom. Boom. Grind.
That when Grogu was choking her out, he knew something we didn't. He had her pegged.
Ew.
Ooh, God,
Ew.
Yeah,
you're into it. Well, adios, Cara Dune. Adios, Gina Carano. It's been a real fun ride, but we'll no longer be darkening the towers of the Mandalorian. Okay, fellas, I had another interesting story that I saw yesterday. This comes to us courtesy of friend of the show, Jason, who sent this to me. This is from Kotaku. Headline: President Biden only just beat his granddaughter at Mario Kart.
Yeah, I didn't read it, but I saw the headline.
Okay, so apparently, according to Kotaku, Joe Biden over the weekend was at Camp David with his family, goofing off, having just a good old family time up at Camp David. And I think he's probably spent a lot of time there before when he was in the Obama White House. But now it's just for him. And apparently they have an arcade at Camp David. I looked for more information about this because I wanted to know, like, what do they got in the arcade there? Like, are we talking Time Crisis? Do we got House of the Dead? Like, what's the story here? But apparently they have Mario Kart GX or GPDX. The arcade version of Mario Kart, which Sam and I are familiar with from playing at Dave & Buster's when I got so mad I rage quitted it.
Andy was about 5 feet from the finish line, and I hit him with something that stopped him, and then got right past him and won at the last second.
I was doing like heavy breathing. Like I got to stand up and walk away. I'm so mad.
It's a fun game, but it's like the worst Mario Kart. Like most console Mario Karts are better than the arcade version.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think it's just a whole nother experience being able to sit in the car and drive it around and stuff.
Sure. I just wish that if they just directly ported a Mario Kart, any Mario Kart, and let you sit in that chair and do it, then it'd be a better game, honestly. But put your picture above it just as your Mario Kart 64 hopping along, be great.
Well, I've got some photographic evidence here for you guys. You can see the man himself, Joseph Robinette Biden, operating the wheel of the Mario Kart GPDX cabinet. I can't make out who he's playing as, though.
Looks like Luigi.
Yeah, I was going to say, I see green.
If so, I approve of his choice.
Yeah, I would guess Luigi. It's skinny and green.
And then we've got, I believe this is his granddaughter, Naomi, in the other seat here. I'm not sure who she's playing. There's kind of a glare on the screen. But this is, I think, his oldest granddaughter, maybe. But she's the daughter of Hunter Biden, one of Hunter Biden's many children.
the pedophile alien? No.
What?
I don't know.
Whatever conspiracy.
Yeah, that's just conspiracy.
He's the one that made all the frogs gay, right?
That's probably true, maybe. No, but Naomi Biden, also known for making lots of thirst trap style posts on Instagram. Just
how old is she? What?
She's like 25.
Oh, okay.
His grandkids are super old. I mean, not super old, but they're adults, except for like the new baby one.
Okay, then.
But anyway, the Kotaku article goes on to say Naomi in her post says that her grandpa's a little rusty but still he barely won at Mario Kart. I'm imagining Biden being like, look, listen, back in my day, we didn't have Mario Kart. Mario drove a nice car like a Studebaker. We didn't throw banana peels in the road. We needed the bananas for potassium during the war.
We boiled the peels and we ate them for dinner.
Bananas were different when I was a kid.
When my dad lost his job down at the factory, I remember he came home and sat down on my bed and he pulled an upside down question mark block out of his bag and he said, "Joe, this is what we have to eat tonight."
I never trusted my father after that.
It killed him. That question block killed him.
Yep. That's why and that's why Joe had refused to play Mario Kart up until this very day. But I'm glad to see that our president is engaging in just some good family fun, playing some Mario Kart. We've got a gamer president, folks.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No, the real question is, did that post get demonetized for posting Nintendo copyrighted material without permission?
Yeah, probably. All right. Well, that's what I got for this week. 2 very dumb stories, which I enjoyed talking about with you guys. But what do you say, fellas? Should we wrap it up?
Well, I wanted to tell you that I played through the Balan Wonderworld demo.
Oh,
and it's a terrible game for babies. That's awful, and I'm really disappointed in the Sonic team or in those guys for making this.
yeah. Sam, do you know what Balan Wonderworld is?
Oh yeah. It's we're gonna remake Nights into Dreams for some reason because no one wants it.
Yeah, except without the flying knights parts and just with the parts where you're walking around.
Yeah. It's Sega continues to make the wrong decisions. Or Sonic Team, sorry,
Sega,
Sonic Team.
Yeah. Well, it's Yuji Naka and Naoto Oshima, the guys that made Sonic.
Yeah.
But Square Enix is publishing it now, I think. So, yeah, I don't know though. It's like I didn't hate it as much as Aaron. I thought it was like kind of fun, but sort of a mess. But like, I don't know, I was enjoying it. It was decent enough. It didn't like offend me with how bad it was, but I definitely would not pay for it. I might like it.
I was immediately like, as soon as I felt what it felt like to be walking around with those characters, I was like, this is going to be rough. And I was not wrong. I was not wrong. It was rough. And also like super easy. Like,
yeah.
And granted, it was the demo and it's just the first little couple stages, but like, it was just super. I'm like, this is a game for babies, isn't it? Like,
yeah. Well, the fact that like you only have one button that you can press and it's like every power-up suit only has one thing they can do and it's all the same button. So like you can either jump or you can attack, but you can't do both.
And it's like a lamer version, like a super duper lame version of Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Where you have like you can get these power-ups that are, many of them are specific to the area or level or whatever, at least in the beginning, and you can store them, which is slightly different than Super Mario Odyssey, but like you transform into this thing and then you have that thing's power, and it's way less interesting and fun.
And
way
it's
less
so
interesting
weird.
and fun.
Like if you get hit at all, you lose the power up you're currently wearing and you have to find it again, but you can stock more than one of that power up. So if you get to like a certain point, you can like go into your closet and like equip a different one. But it just
sounds like weird. A chore.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's
sounds
so
like
clunky.
A fucking chore.
Yeah. But you can you can switch between 3 power-ups. You can have any 3 power-ups equipped at a time. You get hit, you lose one of them, you have the other 2. And you can have 3 of the same power-up if you want for some reason. And the whole thing's just not.
And they don't interact. Like if you've got like this power up, that power up, and this one, you can do this certain. See, that would be cool.
That would be cool. So far, no dice.
Yeah. I just wanted to. You weighed in last time. I thought I'd weigh in this time.
Yeah.
With my thoughts on it.
I will say I think the music is great. They did a good job with that. And like some of the graphics are kind of interesting and nice to look at, but the gameplay is the real problem there.
Did you think of the quick time battles as the Balan guy? What's his face?
They're not like there's nothing bad about it. They're just kind of boring. And,
yeah.
And like you do one, you do one of them. You're like, oh, that's kind of okay. I mean, I'm not sure what was going on or why I was doing that, but we did it. And then like he's flying through the air and then he like kicks a rock and like that's all it is. He's just like kicking like inanimate objects and you're like timing it.
I got to one battle where there was an enemy, like his evil doppelganger, whatever it is. It's not like, it doesn't look exactly like him, but it's like looks sort of like him. It's a lanky character, but they're all black and he's like, he punches them and shit when you do it. And it was like, okay, that's happening. I don't know why it's happening, but we're doing this. Okay. And
yeah, I was expecting you to get something from it, like a collectible, but it's just like points basically.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah.
And then
Maybe
they're
it
all the
all
same.
means something end game, but at the beginning of the game, it's all just things that happen and you don't know
Yeah.
why.
You got to buy the full game to find out.
Yeah, yeah. Another thing that I did was I finally beat Doom Eternal on the easiest setting. Again, I didn't even fuck with anything higher than the easiest setting, and it was okay. It was okay. I think that they missed a lot of chances for it to be like truly epic, like especially the last level. The last level is kind of cool because there's this giant enemy called the Icon of Sin, like
That's
terrassing
from that's from
around.
Doom 2.
Yeah, he's terrassing around the city, like knocking shit over and everything. And you're like sort of chasing him. You're trying to get to him, but you're like going through skyscrapers and stuff. And it's just sort of like boring because it's all this very similar atmosphere of like things you've been going through because it's just office buildings that have been sort of gutted and then you're fighting monsters, which you've already done. And then you finally get to build the top of a building and you just shoot all of his armor off and then shoot him where the armor's been knocked off. And it was just like, this should feel more epic. It's this giant towering monster, and like, and you're just shooting him, he's punching you and everything, and like the whole thing just felt like it was like on the cusp of getting everything right, and all of it just didn't quite get it right. Ironically, the level before, which was you fight this giant angel monster, like who's like I can't remember her name, but she's been the antagonist the entire game. You're fighting her, and there's actually some relationship there, so it means something when you're kicking her ass and you're flying through the air. But and then after that, just sort of the whole game was fun, but I don't have any urge to play it again. Unlike Doom 2016, like I was like, that was fucking great. I want to play some more. And this one, I was like, that was fun. And at the end, you had this cool sword that literally just cuts giant monsters in one hit, and it was pretty cool. And like everything about it was pretty cool, but just missed the mark.
Well, that's a shame. Do you at least get to give that fucking robot from the first game his comeuppance?
No, you don't. You don't. He gets his comeuppance off screen, and then you find him and he's all jacked up, and then you just take him and you like shove him in your base and he becomes the voice in your head.
Okay. All
so
right.
that's kind of lame too. Like you at the end of the game, you're fucking royally pissed at him because he tricks. At the end of 2016's Doom, you're royally pissed at him because he tricks you and slams you in another sarcophagus.
Right.
Never explain how you get out. They never explain how you get to the jet.
I didn't even realize it was the same story, like universe, because it really seems like the 16 ends and then it's just like this story starts and it's like, oh, hey, we're at Earth now and it's being invaded and like, what's going on? Is this even the same Doom guy? Like,
I mean, it's like on the one hand, it didn't bother me that much because it's like, yeah, of course he got out. You know, he's going to get out. It doesn't really matter how he got out. He got out and he's pissed. Now he's going to fight all these demons that are on Earth. So like that didn't bug me too much, but it did bug me that you didn't get to give that robot his comeuppance. You didn't get any confrontation with him whatsoever.
He had it coming after that first game.
Yeah, he did.
Which sucks that they like, as you know, I'm not a fan of cliffhanger endings, but like to end it on a cliffhanger and then not pay it off, kind of that sucks even worse.
Yeah, it would have been just fun if it literally picked up exactly where it left off. Like he runs away and you bust out and you're so fucking pissed you just tear the entire base apart or something. And like I don't know.
Like you bust out and it's like, oh God, Earth's being invaded, and then you just like just have the scene where you're like, and you 100 years later, like and you just look at Earth and you just fly like Master Chief down to Earth.
Hell yeah.
Crash and just like and all the music starts playing. Like that's fine, like I don't need this like fucking Lord of the Rings bullshit, this huge fantasy backstory with knights and angels and shit.
Right. It kind of goes against like the whole ethos of Doom.
Butt rock and bullets is all I need.
That's all you need, baby.
towards like it bothered me so that part actually it bothered me more at the beginning of the game than it did later on in the game, because you see all this stuff and you're like, oh, Doom guy's part of this organization and and you're just like, well, that's stupid. And then you come to find out that he joined later. Like they were already warring with Hell, and like he started his war with Hell, and then he like ran into them and they were like, hey, come join our war with Hell too. And he was like, fucking fine, let me kill demons. So like, and then he's just doing whatever he wants to do. Like the king's the ghost king, the random ghost king that you find in the game is like, don't do this. And the guy's like, yeah, I'm going to go do it. Bye. So like towards the end of the game, it didn't bother me as much as it did in the beginning of the game. But yes, that
it could have at least showed
overwrought
that more, I guess,
and dumb. Sorry, what?
They could have showed, I guess, if they had just been like, maybe they found his thing and they open it up and maybe he kills a few of them. I would have been so much cooler if he was just like, come help us. He's like, fuck you, just kills them and the demons, and he's just fighting both sides at the same time. He just kills everybody.
Yeah, I agree. That would be a lot cooler. Like Doom Guy, he's not supposed to like have motivations, or like
one death.
Yeah,
the death of
rip and tear,
until
it's done. Well, I think we did it, guys.
We did it, guys. We did it.
It's been another glorious episode of One Stage at a Time. We'll be back in a week's time where we'll be playing through Against the Wicked League is what we just played. I forget what the name of the next stage is, but I said it earlier in the show. So just
Hell
rewind
Follows
to that.
or something like that.
Yeah, and Hell Followed.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Okay, Sam, what words of wisdom do you have for the folks at home?
If it's 8 below, don't go out and snowplow your driveway with nothing over your face, like my neighbor did today. Yeah,
Your neighbor,
Don't do that.
and he died 5 minutes later.
He's still out there, I think.
Oh my God!
Now the snow is piled over him, and you can't even tell that he snowplowed anything.
You should probably go help him.
It's 8 degrees. No, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, he made his own bed.
Yeah, it's a snowstorm here, everybody. By the time this comes out, it might still be going on. Who knows?
Yeah.
Everybody, please stay warm and stay safe out there.
Stay warm. If you live in the Midwest like we do, hunker down because it's a rough one. And Aaron, what do you want to say to the listeners at home before we go today?
I want to say thanks for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. Please go to onestageatatime.com for more episodes and links to all of our things. We'll see you all next week. Same time, same place, which is here on the internet. Sometime on Wednesday. Thank you for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week. Andy, give us that sign off, baby.
Save and continue.